Well, thank you for keeping it KBC. This is the lunchtime news. A very warm welcome to the broadcast. Now, top focus this afternoon, President Uhuru Kenyatta has increased the minimum wage by 12%. My colleague John Jacob Kuria is at the Nyayo National Stadium, where the country has marked the celebrations of the 57th Labor Day. Kuria, good afternoon. Give us an update from Nyayo National Stadium.
Thank you very much, Irene. It has been a big win at the International Labor Day celebrated here at Nyayo National Stadium, probably for the first time ever, a 12% pay increase by President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government. And you can be sure it's a big win for workers. I'm sure this is what they were expecting as President Kenyatta's gift as he exits. And probably even before we talk more, let me engage Mwalimu Omboko Milemba, who is the MP for Emuhaya. A ball has been thrown to MPs, but even before we talk about the ball that has been thrown to MPs, very quickly, your quick reaction to the 12% increase by President Uhuru Kenyatta.
This was a very big win, and we want to thank the President. Very, very big win for the workers of Kenya. The biggest win, in fact, in his entire term of 10 years. A 12% increase on the minimum wage is fantastic, because minimum wage is used in calculation of all CBS. So it means in future, as we calculate the CBS and determine the CBS, they will certainly be better, and the other workers who are in higher cadre will be able to get even more. So a big win for the workers. It was a surprise. Nobody expected that this would come, and I think it's a very, very big win for the workers. He equally talked about the law that governs NSSF. I don't know why sometimes people want to scare the Wananchi and workers generally that the President does not want workers to sit on NSSF, because when Atuoli requested for it, he has actually given 2 days for a worker to be represented on the NSSF. Yet, when we are outside here, you are threatened that workers are not supposed to be on NSSF. But the worst case scenario is the case of where the workers were removed from NHIF. It is me who moved the amendment that court to be returned to NHIF. But somewhere there was a feeling in the House that the government does not want court to be in NHIF. So we lost it because of fear. I would wish that Parliament now and even in future should be independent and make good decisions that affect Wananchi, workers and everybody else without fear of feeling that they are operating under the umbrella of somebody else. This bill failed as I watched. And the last day when I was to move it, I had broken my arm and we lost it. That's why court is not on NHIF. I will be going back to Parliament to move an amendment to that particular law so that COTU is on NHIF.
The President has passionately spoke about the cost of living in the country and trying to explain where his government is as it tries to cushion the members of the public from the high cost of living. Do you think the explanations were convincing enough?
Yeah, in terms of, when it comes to the cost of living, he has explained himself. He has finally even explained the subsidy that is on the fuels, which is true. There's 29 shillings on petrol and there's about 40 on diesel, which is good for the government. But how we lost it was that money at one point was spent by Treasury on other things. It was spent on another work, and that's how we lost the reserve that otherwise has been cushioning Kenya. So maybe the message again should have been very, very harsh on after dealing with Mungo, who stands in for the employers and who are taking away fuel to other countries, and fuel which has been subsidized by the Kenyan government. He should have also asked Treasury not to touch on the subsidy money, so that we shall never go back again to the scenario where we were, where every Kenyan is queuing for fuel. So the explanations must be accompanied by action at Treasury and also at every other level. It's also very important that he takes action so that the price of unga, the price of mafuta ya kupika, in fact is the worst because it has increased by 41%, and other essentials calm down, because basically that's what our country needs. And if the food prices will go high, it's very dangerous, because that is how revolutions do begin. Lastly,
before I let you go, Mheshimiwa, you belong to the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. You know, Labour is about politics. You had the President himself talking about the politics of this year and who has been helping him and who has not.
Politics is determined by many, many factors, which I don't want to enumerate. I'm a teacher. But here I came here because I'm a teacher and I'm also a leader of the labor movement, that is KUPPET. And everything the president said is correct because that was his view. The rest of the other people can have their view another day. Thank you so much.
Such diplomacy from Mwalimu Omoka Vilemba, the Member of Parliament for Emuhaya. And like I've told you, this is a really major day for workers for the first time in a very long time. Remember, the last time government reviewed the minimum wage was in 2018. So you can imagine for 4 years, there's not been an upward review of the minimum wage. It was standing at 13,572. Now you can imagine a 12% increase, what that would mean for the common worker. And that is what President Uhuru Kenyatta has done here, including giving concessions that now KOTU can have a representative in the NSSF board, which has not been happening for some time. Now, Parliament also has a role to play in terms of formulating legislation to allow the KOTU representative to also sit on the NHIF board so that workers have somebody who can oversight the use or appropriation of their monies that go to NSSF as well as NHIF. But you cannot miss on succession politics that has played out here as President Uhuru Kenyatta went direct for his deputy, saying that when I was looking for assistance, for somebody to help me, you were not available. Instead, you were throwing insults. And the president saying insults will not build the country. That is why he went for Raila Odinga, who has been assisting him in solving the solutions of this problem. And the president is saying the cost of living, the high cost of living cannot be blamed on me or any person in the Republic of Kenya because there was COVID-19 and then immediately after that, the conflict in Russia and Ukraine, and says that cannot be blamed on him. And therefore, for any leader to stand on a public podium to blame him is actually dishonest, and has said probably the Kenyans have an opportunity in August this year to decide on who should lead them. I want to bring it back to you, Irene Chuma. Obviously, we'll be compiling comprehensive stories that will be airing at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m.